Now back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790. Brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife Resource Agency, Gaston's White River Resort, and Barton Power Sports.
Hey, good Saturday morning. Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray as we talk a lot of fishing on today's show because Ron Wong, being the second Saturday of the month, is in here with me. And, Ron, I know that you and I both know this next young man. I still call him a young man. Is. But if anybody knows the Wolf River, the Ghost River, I'd like to know if nobody knows it like Billy Ross Doyle.
No, he does. A lot of people have tried to fish it, but probably Billy is the number one.
Yes.
The number one fisherman on the Wolf River. And I got to tell you something. You have to know it in order to fish it because you can get lost in the cypress trees and in the swampy areas.
But there's fish out there, and I know that if anybody's been watching the social media, we don't want to build up Billy too big. He's already a big guy. We don't want to get him too big.
We do. Sure we do.
First of all, good morning, Billy.
Good morning. How are y'all doing?
Oh, we're ready to talk fishing, Billy. You got me all excited, and, of course, I've been in the boat with Billy. I've hunted with Billy, and just always fun time to be with him. But what kind of January did you have on the Wolf River, Billy?
Larry, I have had one of the most exciting Januaries I've ever had on the Wolf. It's been unbelievable.
So go ahead. You kind of mentioned a number like 200. So
yeah, my boat in 7 trips has caught over 200 bass up there.
That's pretty amazing. And, a lot of people think that in that area, Billy, knowing it's fairly shallow with the exception of the channel going through it, which is the Wolf River, but it's fairly shallow, and people think, well, in this cold weather, there's no way they can bite, but they do.
They do. And, I've been fishing up there since 1980. So, I know where they live. I know where they hang out.
Right.
But it's just been kind of like the perfect storm up there the month of January with the water level, the clarity of the water. You can take a couple, 3 or 4 hours of sunshine, and I got there in 2 feet of water.
Wow. And now, Billy, after a rain, it kind of muddies up a little bit, but it clears up fairly fast.
You got a lot of stuff to filter that water up there. So, yeah, it doesn't get as muddy as you think it does, but it will stain it up.
Right, because all that vegetation will filter the water, like you say. This time of the year,
we haven't had a hard winter yet, and there's still green lily pads and green grass on the water up there.
Wow. This time of the year, with the water temperature kind of down a little bit, just like it is everywhere else, what's the best way to catch them?
Well, I go up there, I use a square bill kind of as a locator. Take that square bill and work the edges of the channel or work some of that backwater, trying to figure out where they're at. And then if they won't hit that, sometimes they'll just show themselves on that square bill and they won't eat it.
Right.
But you can turn around and drop a Texas red crawl on their head, and before you know it, that line's taking off running sideways.
Right. Now, when you're doing that, especially when you're Texas rigging plastics, I got to believe that your plastics have been, if you will, soaking in some craw cane.
Oh, yeah, they've been soaked, marinated is what I like.
Marinated in craw cane. And, a lot of people, Billy, you're the one that came out with that product some number of years ago, and, of course, I'm still a very big believer in it. Whenever I open up any kind of plastics at all, and I don't care where it's from, and everybody has their scent or their salt and everything else, but I always drop some of the craw cane in before I ever go fishing and let, as you say, let it marinate. But tell our listeners about craw cane, because one of the things that I know is that you use real crawfish in it.
I do. I have it's the real crawfish in there. So, and I've actually revived craw cane a little bit. I'm actually have increased the crawl that I'm putting in.
Oh wow!
And I've made it stronger.
Mm-hmm.
So which, of course, makes the retail price go up.
Yeah.
But I'm in the process of reworking a website and getting all that up and running. So, but yeah, it's real crawfish.
And I know
so
that.
What would you want on your bait other than the real stuff?
Absolutely, and you know, with the Mid-South Sports Show, boat show coming up here in Memphis, I know that crawl cane will be there. I know there'll be some in the Peanut Craft Lure booth. So,
correct.
You know, guys, come on out and check this stuff out. And it's so easy to use. You know, you get a nice bottle of it, and it doesn't take that much. You put it into your bag of plastic, seal it back up, and you're ready to go.
Well, let me tell you a trick to it, Ron.
A trick.
All right.
A lot of guys have figured this out. People have tried to cook it into their plastics, and they won't cook because once you heat it up to that high temperature, that real crawfish kind of disintegrate. But if you'll take and use it, just what you've been doing, but take it and lay after you seal that bag.
Right.
You got it in your baits.
Right.
Lay it on the dash of your truck while you're at work or whatever, and let the sun cook it.
Oh, that's that's a good secret.
Let nature nature take over.
Nice tip.
Let nature take its course on it, and it will enhance that flavor quicker.
Well, let me ask you something here, Billy. To my listeners out there, they think of the Wolf River and they think emptying into Mississippi and things along that line. Tell them kind of walk them through the experience of fishing the Wolf River where you fish.
Well, you know, Larry, it's just so primitive up there. I mean, I say primitive. It's your access is very limited.
Mm-hmm.
You got to go in a very small boat.
Right.
I mean, it's just I've got places that I really believe that when I go and throw my bait at the bass, that's the only lure they ever see.
No, that's a
true.
Good point.
Yeah, I mean, because it is. They don't call it a portion of it the Ghost River for nothing, right?
No, and that thing, and even after 36 years of fishing up there, I'm still learning more about it every time I go.
You think you think it's a hidden gem, don't you, Billy? I mean,
oh yeah, it is a hidden gem, and I hope it stays hidden.
I know that's what you want. Billy likes it because it is not really accessible, but I know our good friends at the Wolf River Conservancy. They have these big canoe things, and you see a lot of canoers out there.
You do see a lot
of canoers, but you don't see a lot of like what Billy does. And you guide on that thing, right, Billy?
Well, I haven't guided in quite a while, but
you
I have
taken
in the past taken people up there.
Yeah, and that's what I'm asking. What's their reaction when you get first timers on that thing?
Well, I've had trips that's supposed to last 8 hours turned into daylight to dark.
So it's a memory, isn't it? I mean, because you're in there at areas, and there are now you're catching largemouth bass, but
correct.
But I mean, what size-wise are there some big ones in there?
Well, you're not going to see a real big. Every now and then you'll see a 7, 8, 9 pounder, but your average fish is going to be 3 to 5. I say average. That's your better fish.
Right.
But they're all what I call linebackers. They all got shoulders on them.
They all got shoulders on them. Yeah,
typical river bass.
They're mean.
They're mean.
I don't care. Yeah, I don't care if they are a largemouth. Occasionally we'll catch a Kentucky or a spotted bass.
That's right. There are some spotted bass there, and
most of them are largemouth, and they're like linebackers. They're mean.
Yep, and you can also get surprised too, catching some chain pickerel there, and they'll eat a bass bait that's unbelievable.
That's one of the first bites you'll probably get is a chain pickerel.
That's right.
Pickerel bite, and you're going to catch a few bass. So
that's right.
Yeah. Well, so if you get one, you get a pickerel, there's some bass around, right?
Yes, it is because that chain pickerel, he's a predator just like the bass. So they're both working up for the same food.
What do you use, Billy, for back in there? I know Ron usually asks, what kind of line and what kind of rod is this? A lightweight rod, or what are we using?
No,
there?
Well, Larry, I'm still old school.
So is Ron.
I still use monofilament. I use 15-pound big game trolley.
Do you really?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's tough stuff.
It. Yeah,
yep.
you don't want to.
I have never bought a spool of fluorocarbon.
Really?
Well, you can buy a spool of big game trilene for about $8, and that's 600 yards, and that is some tough stuff.
It is.
Very high abrasion and everything else.
I throw a frog up there when the pads come up, and I'll throw it on braid. But other than that, that's it.
Huh.
But as far as equipment wise, you need something good, strong to get them out of that cover because most of these bass you catch, they're going to be in some cover.
Yeah,
Yep.
and you're not putting a 22-foot boat in there with 250 horse.
No, there's no place to do it.
So what are you fishing?
But I tell you, the 7 trips I took in January up there,
yeah,
the only boaters I saw up there other than me were duck hunters.
we're duck hunters. Yeah, and they're wanting to know why you in there. So
I'm wondering why they're in there because they never shoot. I said, what are y'all doing? Why are you wasting your time?
Fishing and everything. Well, Betty, wait.
But it's amazing. I can go down there now since duck season's over with. The place is covered up in ducks.
Oh, don't tell them that. I mean, we got duck hunters listening right now, and Ron loves those duck hunters to get out of there now so he can fish in there. Billy Doyle, thank you, buddy. Always good to talk to you. We're going to stay in touch, and like I said, we're going to get you and Wong in a boat together. We may have to take a bodyguard along with y'all, but we want to shoot some video and get it on the Outdoors with Larry Ray website. But we're going to stay in touch, okay, Billy?
Okay, y'all, let me know when you want to go.
A lot
right,
of,
buddy.
lot of
Take
great
care.
memories with Billy Doyle, even not just fishing, but the press box.
Super guy.
Oh, man.
Super
See
guy.
you, Billy. All right.
Okay, Larry, Ron, see you later.
All right, bye now.
All right, let's take a break. Greg Ratliff is our show producer. Always great talking to Billy Ross Doyle out of Somerville, Tennessee. Really, he's not from Somerville. He's out there in the sticks someplace, I think. But
Close enough.
It's close enough. We'll be right back on Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790.